How often do you blame your circumstances for where you are in life right now? Be honest, do you catch yourself thinking, if only this or that was different, then you'd be happier, you'd be more successful, you'd be more fulfilled? Here's the hard truth, your external world is a reflection of your internal world. So if you want to change your circumstances, your first step is to change yourself. I'm Sanj and welcome to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is a podcast that helps you navigate life's challenges by helping you to master your mindset so you can master your life. As always, if you get something from this episode, please share it with someone who you think would benefit from hearing this. And I'd really appreciate it if you could leave me a rating or a review. So let's start with the quote from Jim Rohn. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. And today we're going to dive into why we tend to look outward when things go wrong, and more importantly, why the real key to changing your circumstances lies within you. I'm also going to be talking about some ways you can shift your mindset and your behaviors to create the life that you want. I know this may actually sound very similar to an episode I did a couple of weeks ago, but this is all about your circumstances, not about just taking responsibility. But there will be some bits that sound very familiar, I am aware. So let's start with why we tend to look outwards when things aren't going the way we want them to. And it's natural because when something in our life isn't working, whether it's job, a relationship, or your finances, you tend to point your finger elsewhere thinking, oh yeah, it's my boss's fault. If only I had more time, or the economy is terrible. Why do you do this? It comes down to a few psychological reasons actually. The first is that blame is used as a defense mechanism. It's actually easier to blame external factors than to accept the responsibility for where you are. Psychologically, it actually feels safer for you to start believing that the problem is out there and it's beyond your control than to admit to yourself that actually it's your own choices that may have gotten you to where you are. Your own choices may have gotten you into the situation that you're currently in. Another reason is because we crave certainty. And so your brain is wired to seek control, and if you acknowledge that the issue is within you, it feels uncertain and even scary at times. So by blaming someone externally or external circumstances, it actually gives you an illusion of control, even though actually it's the opposite of real control, because what are you in control of? The only thing you're in control of when you're blaming someone else or the external circumstances is you're actually giving the control to them. The next thing is your comfort zone. The next thing is your comfort zone. It's so comfortable to believe that the world is happening to you rather than you taking responsibility for your role in creating your circumstances. When you blame outside forces, it means you don't have to change. And that feels good because actually change is uncomfortable. Change takes effort. Change takes determination and intention. It takes energy. And you don't want to do that. But actually, when you constantly blame external factors for your problems, you actually end up having higher stress levels and report lower overall happiness. And the reason for that is because you end up giving away your responsibility. You give away control over your life. And the one thing you want in life is actually control. So if you keep blaming external circumstances, you're going to give up the power to change anything. And that's why I'm going to try and help you shift your mindset. So although this covered some of the stuff in an earlier episode, now I'm going to be talking about why your behaviors, mindset and routines have led you to where you are. It's not your circumstances that are the issue. It's your behaviors, it's your mindset and your routines. Where you are today, whether that's in your career, in your relationship, health or any other area of your life, it's a direct result of your actions, your thoughts and your habits. And this can be tough to hear, but it's also incredibly empowering when you think about it. Because actually, when you take a step back, you realize it means that you have the ability to change it. And here's why. Because your mindset dictates your behavior. If you believe something isn't possible, you won't take the actions that you need to take to make it happen. How many times has this happened to you, that you believe you're not smart enough to, maybe you don't believe you're smart enough at something, and you realize you actually just never seem to achieve what you want to in that area. You end up subconsciously holding yourself back from learning a new skill, or actually doing enough to pass, or to even learning more. Take on new challenges because you believe that you're not smart enough. You do this as a kid, and you do it as an adult. As a kid, when you're actually holding yourself back, you're in a fixed mindset thinking, yeah, I can't do this. Of course you can't, because you believe you can't. So it's not going to happen. The next thing is your habits. They shape your results. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, he says that you do not rise to the level of your goals. You actually fall to the level of your systems. So what systems do you have? If your daily habits are things that involve things like procrastination, avoidance, or just settling for bare minimum, what you'll find is you end up staying stuck in the same circumstances. What habits have you got that you need to get rid of? What habits have you got that are keeping you stuck, that are holding you back from living the life you're actually desiring, the one that you're actually capable of living? How many times have you sat there and you thought to yourself, oh, you know what, I need to actually get exercise habit going. I need to start eating healthier. I need to start being more positive, all these things. But you just haven't done it. Your goal is to exercise, but your system, your habits are to not exercise. So you don't rise to the level of your goals just because you want to exercise. It doesn't actually move you to that outcome, to that result. You end up falling to the level of your system, and if the level of your system is you not exercising, that's the level you're going to fall to. So you need to actually start changing that. Did you know about 40% to 45% of your daily actions are habitual? Nearly half of what you do every single day is on autopilot. So if you're not where you want to be, it's not because the world is against you, it's because your habits, your mindset, and your routines are keeping you where you are. It's you versus you. Think about that for a second. It's the you who you are now versus the you who you want to be. Who's going to win that battle? Your mindset is dictating your behavior. Your habits will dictate your results. And your routines will dictate how you get there. But if you want to start shifting your mindset to work on changing yourself, you need to start actually making real changes in your life. And the first step is simple, but it's so profound. And that is own it. Take 100% responsibility for where you are now, right now. Everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it will feel uncomfortable at first, but this is a foundation. This is a base layer you need for real growth. If you can accept that your current circumstances are a reflection of the past choices that you have made, you also accept that your future circumstances will become a reflection of the choices that you make today. And that's where everything can change. You can start changing your story. You can be stuck in a story like, I can't change my career at this point, or this is just how my life is, or I'll never lose weight. These are the stories that are holding you back. You need to start thinking to yourself, is this story actually serving me? Or do you need to rewrite it? Get rid of that page, rip it out of the story of your life and start rewriting it. When you feel in control of your life, you're more likely to reach your goals. Because if you feel like your circumstances are in control of you, you're going to be very unlikely to reach your goals. Because no matter what you do, everything will still be against you. So by shifting your mindset and owning your story, you're already ahead of most of the people out there. And so here are 3 things you can do to start changing your circumstances. The first thing is change your beliefs. If you believe something is out of reach, you won't even try. Start changing your beliefs. And by doing that, you'll start changing your actions. Start by identifying things like the limiting beliefs that you're holding on to. For example, things like, I'm no good with money. Replace it with, I can learn to manage my money effectively. I can be better with money. When you start actually changing your belief, that belief is a foundation of action. It's also, if you're sitting there thinking that you're no good at something, if you're not willing to put in the effort, you've got a fixed mindset. You need to change that to a growth mindset where everything in front of you is a challenge, it's an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. The second thing you can do to change is your daily habits. As I said earlier, your habits make up almost half of your daily life. Start by changing small habits. Things like setting a morning routine, planning your day the night before or before you actually get out of bed, dedicating time each day for personal growth, meditating. Micro habits lead to macro changes. It doesn't have to be a big change. Just a small change can actually have big impact on your life. And this final one is the biggest one. It will have the biggest impact on your life, and that is change your inner dialogue. Be mindful of how you talk to yourself. Be mindful. Are you constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough? That you can't change? Your self-talk has a massive impact on your confidence and your ability to take action. Start speaking to yourself with that kindness, that encouragement that you would give to other people. Why are you talking to yourself worse than you would talk to other people? You should be talking to yourself like you would talk to someone you love, with care, with compassion. And that will actually change everything, because when you're giving yourself that care and compassion, talking to yourself in a loving way, supporting yourself, that's how you're going to actually make these big changes. The power to change your circumstances actually lies in your hands. It's not about what's happening around you, but it's about what's happening within you. So next time when you're thinking to yourself that you feel stuck or you're unhappy with your life, remember, you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a creator of them. And if you want to create something better, you need to start with yourself. So what's one thing that you can change in yourself today that will help you change your circumstances tomorrow? Is it being better with time? Is it being more romantic with your partner? What could you do today that will change your circumstances tomorrow? Reflect on it and then take action. So as always, thank you for joining me today. If this episode has resonated with you at all, please share it with a friend or on social media, and let's actually spread the message that real change starts from within. So until next time, keep pushing yourself to grow, because when you change yourself, you truly change your life. Change your mindset. Master your mindset so you can master your life. That's it for today. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at just.live.coaching for more tips on how to master your mindset and live your best life.